All right. Welcome back to the Graeme and Sophia podcast, post
Hey,
Dutch Grand Prix.
hey
And
guys.
yeah, we got a lot to talk about. What it was a crazy race.
Crazy race, and also I feel like, 3-week break to come back to this race wasn't disappointing.
No, not at all. The summer break seems to have made all the drivers want to go crazy.
Yeah, which we
Well, and
definitely
the
saw.
weather.
True. True. I guess we should get into it. Race
Sure.
results, just quickly going down the list. Go ahead, take it away.
So our podium was Max P1, Alonso P2, and Pierre Gasly P3. And then the rest of the top 10 was Checo in P4, Carlos in P5, Lewis P6, Lando P7, Albon P8, Oscar P9, and Esteban P10.
What a crazy top 10.
Yeah,
That
I
is
mean,
the most unexpected. First of all, well, third place, Ghastly, like random,
shout out.
obviously.
Yeah. We'll get
Yeah,
when we talk about the stats and nerdy shit later, I'll talk about how crazy it is that he got on the podium. Like it's actually
perfect.
wild.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in top 10 that I don't think we really would have expected or predicted. So
Yeah,
can't say.
another Williams masterclass from Alex. Esteban getting some points, and then Alonso back on the podium. It's been a while.
Yep. Yep. So definitely crazy way to start off, the rest of the season after break.
Definitely. I think that out of 10, I would give this race a 9 out of 10. It had everything, crazy strategy, weather, drivers out of position. It was just kind of all you could ask for the first race back from the summer break.
I would have given it a 9 too. I had to ding it point 0.1, so I gave it an 8.9 simply because, as we all know, I'm a Charles fan, and we have to ding some points for that. But
Yeah.
agreed, there was a lot going on. It was entertaining, but man, was this a tough race as a Ferrari fan for multiple reasons. So
And as a McLaren fan too.
yeah, yeah,
We both our
Lando,
teams kind of screwed the strategy a little bit.
yeah. I mean, it was kind of easy too, in a way, though. I feel like no one could have predicted
Yeah, I
anything going
mean,
on.
I think like only the people that were down like the bottom 10 had good strategy calls.
Yeah.
Like that's I guess Alonso did too, but
Yeah. Well,
aside from that, everyone kind of like and it was also just crazy. The teams were just saying the most like the stupidest stuff to the drivers, like oh the soft like the race manager for Lando told him that the softs were faster than inters when he got passed by three people in like one corner, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah. I think there was like a one, he was like, "You're so fucking stupid," or something. I was like, everyone's on their silly shit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it really was. Everyone was just going crazy. It's just like everyone forgot that they do this for a job and like were thrown into it for the first time.
Which Liam was, which we'll kind of
True.
briefly touch on later, but that was also a plot twist I don't think anyone expected.
Yeah. Fun fact: the only person that's overtaken Max this season, I think, has been Liam. There
What
was a
a
point where
debut.
Liam unlapped himself and then immediately got lapped
Wow.
again. But yeah,
What a debut. That is definitely one way to
give him the
start it
second
off.
Red Bull seat now.
Yeah. Well, he's racing in Monza as well. It was reported.
Yeah, I think it's official that he's going to be stepping in until Danny Rick is healthy from his broken wrist. So
His
it'll
surgery.
be yeah, interesting to see how he does in the. I guess Christian Horner was saying that Daniel Ricciardo will be out for I don't know 3 or 4 races,
Yeah.
but because he's an F1 racer, like it might be like less time than a normal person, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. Like Lance Stroll just show up with a broken wrist.
Yeah,
But he had surgery,
exactly.
so it might be a little different. Well,
He did go to no. He went to the same place that Lance went for his surgery because Lance also got like
oh
pins
yeah, he
in
did have.
his wrist.
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
oh.
There was a clip of some person in the paddock just like recorded them talking about it, and Lance was like, "Yeah, he's the best surgeon out there. I'll send him a message and get you on the list or something like that."
Perfect. Definitely got priority viewing there.
Yeah.
But
All
anyway,
right.
so we know the race was super unpredictable, and 3 weeks ago we did try to predict what the podiums would look like. So let's jump into it. You put Max P1, no brainer, sure was. Checo P2, Lewis P3. And then your wild card is Logan out qualifies Alex.
Yeah. A solid
Clearly,
1 out of 4 on the predictions there.
yeah, the wild card definitely. Poor guy could not catch a break. I really enjoyed the clips of him just down in the dumps, like head down in multiple different seating positions, locations. He was just,
Yeah,
yep.
he was just stuck there like the entire race because I guess he was
Yeah.
like in the middle of the track, so they couldn't get him back to the pits. It was confirmed though that his car failure was a mechanical failure, so at least it wasn't his fault. I think his brakes just
Good.
failed. It was a brake by wire failure. So
Poor guy. Poor guy.
yeah,
He definitely
he did
looked
make it to
down.
Q3 though, so
Yeah, good
that was
job for him.
big for him.
Improvements.
Yeah, definitely.
The rest
Well,
out of his control.
that'll lead into my prediction for next race, but we'll get into that. So let's look at your predictions. See if you did any better than my 1 out of 4. Hint, you didn't. You had
Right.
Max P1, the freebie, Checo
Yep.
P2, Charles P3, and your wild prediction was that Alonso would get out in Q2. So we
Yeah.
both got the freebies, which counts for a lot, right?
Yeah, I feel like at this point they shouldn't even count as points, but it's fine. But yep, I think all of our predictions were just so. I mean, Checo it wouldn't have been too far off, and he wasn't. Just his penalty that
No,
kind
I
of
mean
threw him
he
off.
finished third on track, but then
Yeah,
the penalty. That was.
but
Did
then
you
like
see how he got the penalty? He
it's
like was
speeding.
going into the well, yeah, but he was going into
Yeah.
the pit and like bounced off the wall and like couldn't stop. So like you sped by 0.6 kilometers per hour.
That's so shit. That is so shit.
Yeah, he got.
Oh,
I
poor
mean,
guy.
the speed limit's the speed limit, right?
Yeah,
Because
who cares if you hit a wall?
we all don't go over the speed limit at all.
Point 0.6? Wow. The fact that it was like the difference between a podium too, I'd be
Yeah,
livid.
I think that earlier in the season, Gasly got a speeding one, and he was like 0.1. Like he got they are super strict with it. It's I mean, it makes sense, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's no thank you. Pass. Sorry.
I was gonna say,
It's like
hopefully for Monza, our predictions will be better. We'll have a better
I don't know
showing.
that mine will. I don't even know. I feel like after this break it's like who knows what to expect. Everyone's
True.
everywhere. I mean, the
Yeah,
weather played a role,
as
but
long as there's no rain, because the rain always fucks up everything except for Max winning. Unfortunately,
well, yeah, that will stay consistent forever.
yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to rain.
I think there's a low chance, but like
Oh,
Zandvoort, we knew it was gonna
yeah,
rain like going into the week, but
yeah,
I think fingers crossed that it's not gonna rain.
yeah.
As much
Well,
as
anyway,
wet wet weather races are fun, but it'd be nice to get a normal one.
expected McLaren to do a lot better. I was actually watching with a friend that's never seen Formula One before, and I was like, just wait, like Lando's about to take off on this one. Like this is his forte. Like he's going off. Nope, he did not.
Yep,
Uh,
he did not.
so that was embarrassing, but that's
Hurts a
okay.
little bit.
Yep, yep. We all expected it. Didn't happen. It's fine. You move past it. But what would you consider your favorite moment of the race?
I mean, I think just the race in general, with the weather, was crazy. Like like what you were saying earlier, everyone was on different strategies. People were pitting lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, lap 4. Some people tried to stay out through the rain, and you had fun fact: most overtakes in an F1 race ever.
That's crazy.
183 overtakes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It feels like I didn't see that many. Like I don't know what they were showing, but apparently that it was the most overtakes ever. And I mean it makes sense cuz everyone was on different strategies and stuff, but I feel like they would
Yeah, I've
focus in on like a battle and then like three people would get overtakes behind them and they just wouldn't show any of them.
I agree. I was gonna say, like, it didn't seem like there was that much going on. Like, I know it was all over the place, but to for it to be the most overtakes in a race ever, I feel like I would have noticed it a lot more. But they probably just didn't show
Stats
it. They didn't know where to
stats
focus.
don't lie. Yeah, that's
No.
honestly probably true. The TV direction just like did not know what to do. They were like not expecting that at all.
No. They're like, what the fuck? Like, we need more screens, more cameras, please. Someone split screen.
They should honestly
um,
do that. Have like, well, I guess you can pay for F1 TV and do it yourself, but they should have the multi-view, like have multiple cameras showing multiple fights. I think that would be really entertaining.
that would be cool. But then how would the commentators? We digress. It's not our business to figure out how the commentators would do that.
That's their
But
job. Our job is just to discuss.
yeah. I was going to say that my favorite moment of the race, I couldn't even pick one. I don't think there's like a moment that I was like, yeah, like this is great. I think it was more like, what the fuck? So for me, there
Lots
wasn't
of
like,
what the fuck moments.
yeah. So overall, I would just say, like you said, the like unpredictability of the race and the chaos of it all would be my favorite part. But I don't think there's like a moment that I loved out of the race.
Yeah, just the entire
It's a
race
lot of
in general.
heartbreak.
It was,
It's a
yeah,
heartbreak. so, so it's hard to pick one, but it was entertaining, and that's
it
all we
was.
can
Yeah,
say.
I was hungover in an airport watching the race, and it definitely kept me awake.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I was watching with someone that's never watched before, and they're like, "What is going on?" I was like, "Honestly, I have no explanation for you. I have no idea either." So we're on the same page. I was like, "This is like a really good first race to watch, but also maybe the worst first race." First race. I can't even speak to watch. So whatever. Hopefully we converted a new fan.
Yeah, that I mean that person definitely chose a good one to watch, but their expectations are going to be very high,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like Monza's now going to have the least overtakes ever in an F1 race for some reason.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We could be surprised.
True. All right, moving on. There were a couple race controversies or race weekend controversies. The first one that we kind of talked about briefly was the Daniel Ricciardo broken wrist. Obviously, shame that that happened. Um, it's pretty crazy. Like, it didn't really look like a crazy accident. You know, he just kind of went to the wall and then the wheel kind of twisted. And I think he just didn't let go of it fast enough and kind of
Yeah.
ripped his hand with it. But I'm surprised it doesn't happen more, really.
Yeah, agreed. It didn't look like anything. Like when I saw the crash, I was like, oh, he's probably fine, assuming
Yeah.
everyone always has to be fine. But it's so sad, the timing of everything. And like he finally is back in F1 and now he's gone for a few races. So that really sucks.
Yeah.
But just
Definitely a
wishing
tough
him a
break for
speedy
him.
recovery. Yeah. All that
Yeah.
matters though is that he's okay. But
Yeah. He went to the best wrist surgeon in the world. So I'm sure he'll be back in no time.
he's getting taken care of. And in the meantime, we can see what Liam Lawson is all about. And
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think
great break for him.
hmm I'm really excited to see what he can do. I think that he's one of like the best young drivers that's kind of not in F1. I
Yeah.
think next year there's a good chance that he is in F1. So definitely, I mean, this is definitely a good tryout for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is definitely a good way to debut himself and show the teams what he's got. So good luck to him. Hopefully it works out well and in his favor. But um, definitely hard to judge him based on the last race. Granted, the conditions. So hopefully in Monza we
Yeah.
can get a better idea of what he's all about.
Apparently, he had never driven an F1 car on inters before, and like I think in qualifying was his first time, and he was like 2 seconds off the pace because he had never done it before.
Poor
But
guy.
he did pretty well in the race, so I guess he adapted pretty well.
He's doing the best he can. That's all that matters.
Yeah. All right, and then the one other thing that I want to talk about. Saw a little bit of controversy on Twitter X about it. People just complaining that they red flagged the race at the end when it started like monsooning and downpouring. And I feel like there's a little bit of, that's kind of fair to be annoyed about because they have wet weather tires for a reason, but they never race on them. It's
Yeah.
always if it's wet enough to go on wets, they red flag. But at the same time, it was dangerous. We saw Joe, Perez, Yuki all
Yeah.
go off. And I mean, obviously, Joe was in the barrier. So I think that the red flag was a combination of it being dangerous weather, and then they also needed to get rid of Joe's car. Because imagine if they kept going and Joe's car was still there, and someone just aquaplaned off into Joe's car.
Yeah.
Like that would have been really bad. I think in general, race control and the FIA did a good job with the weather and the safety cars this race.
I agree. And I think it's always better to play by the rules of better safe than sorry. And especially in a
Definitely.
sport like F1, you just can't risk it. It's slippery. And like, even just looking at the dash cams of the drivers when they're behind a car that, like, maybe it just rained, you can't see anything
Yeah, the
as
spray is
is. Yeah.
wild.
Shaking that. Exactly. So I'm glad that they aired on the side of caution, and like people can complain all they want, but think of the backlash if God forbid something happened.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. Definitely better
Yeah.
to play it safe
Yeah.
and just not risk anyone getting seriously injured.
Yeah.
Like I
Not
don't know
worth
if you
it.
remember, but like Suzuka last year, where they had
Yep.
the recovery vehicle on the track in like full wet
Yep.
weather and behind a safety car, like wild. I
Yeah.
think
It
definitely learned from some past mistakes.
I would hope so. I would really hope so. I think it was a great call by them. So the people that are complaining, grow up. Grow up
Yeah.
and stop being lame. Those are my words
Yeah.
of wisdom.
Obviously, F1 is supposed to be entertaining, but we do not want to see anyone get injured. So,
No, no.
yeah.
Then it's not entertaining. But all right, let's move on. Stats and nerdy shit. What do you got for us?
Yeah. So, this is a kind of an interesting one. I think you can see first and second, we have Verstappen and Alonso. So, they were first and second in pace, and they finished first and second. But, if you look at the mean lap times for everyone behind them, kind of shows that Mercedes and McLaren both kind of were the biggest losers. I mean, they were probably the very close to Alonso in terms of pace, but their strategy by both Mercedes and McLaren really fucked their drivers up. That they were basically, I think all four of them stayed out really late in that first rain. And by the time that they pit, basically it was drying up, and then they had to pit again like 2 laps later. So I think Hamilton, Russell, Norris, all did that and were like running the bottom five positions at one point.
Wow, yeah.
Piastri stayed out and did a little bit better, but they all should have boxed way earlier, and they could have
Yeah.
easily all been fighting for podiums. And
Yeah.
then the other interesting thing, you can see that Gasly was actually like the 10th fastest driver. It just kind of goes to show that they absolutely nailed the strategy. Like every
Yeah.
single time there was a strategy choice, they picked the right one, and that ultimately, despite not having great pace, brought them up to the podium.
Well, I find it interesting, seeing that Alpine really nailed their strategy. It's convenient timing after they fired Otmar. And I'm curious to see if those play hand in hand.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if I don't think they've hired a new team principal. I think they're just kind of they move some people around and they're kind of managing it right now. But that's probably a huge morale boost for the team because I'm sure people in the team, the drivers, were all very down and like, what are we doing here? Just
Yeah.
clearing house. And after Otmar had only been with the
Restarting.
team for a year and a half, so that podium is definitely big. And then even in Spa, didn't Gasly get P3 in the sprint?
Yeah.
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 So I think it was Gasly. It was definitely one of the. I think it was Gasly. It was one of the Alpines. Um, so they look like they're functioning.
Doing well.
at least.
Doing something. Yeah, Gasly
Yeah.
third.
Yeah,
Good for them.
really, really, really good for him and impressive strategy calls by Alpine.
Happy to see Pierre on there. It's nice to switch it up. Unexpected, but well deserved.
Yeah.
So congrats to him. His first podium this year. Woohoo. Go Pierre.
Go Pierre. All right. Moving on to meme of the week. What do you got this week?
Okay, I'll send that to you. It was hard to pick. There was a lot going on,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't
A lot
be
happened in the race, so there was a lot of memes.
exactly. The one that I picked
Got it.
is, let me know if you got it.
Yep.
I actually, I'm going to sound stupid. I don't know what show this is from,
Two and a Half
but
Men.
I never watched that, so
Oh, it's so funny.
I know. Well, I should know. The way that I'm picking this meme and not knowing where it's coming from is weird, but okay.
Yeah, you don't need to know the show to see how funny it is. It's a great
Yes.
meme.
Yeah, so the one guy's like, I think I forgot something. The other one, and you can fill in these people, I don't know. Go, if you forget, then it wasn't important. And the guy responds, yeah, you're right. And then the next picture is just the tires stacked on top of each other because what the fuck was that? Charles
Yeah.
pitting for new tires and the team just not being ready for it? Like, were you
I
sleeping?
I saw apparently he made the call himself, like the team told him to stay out and then he came in so they didn't have the tires ready, which probably was the right call because they would have lost more time if he had stayed out. But it was really funny seeing him just roll up to the pit box and they were just all standing there with no tires for him.
I get that, but like, shouldn't I get maybe it wasn't the time to pit, but like it would have been eventually. Like, shouldn't they have just started moving along? I don't know. I feel like you should just be ready.
I think there's like some rules, like you're not about like bring tires out and then putting them
Oh,
away and stuff, and especially because they're in the tire blankets, you don't want to just have them
yeah,
sitting there. It's going to be a
that's
while
true.
because then they'll cool down.
That's true.
So it's not totally forgivable, but maybe a little bit just because it was a late call.
Yeah, whatever. But that was crazy. I was just sitting there. I was like, are we effing kidding right now? It's
Now they're
fine.
it did look like in their classic Ferrari fuck up at
Yep.
first until we got the background information on it.
Just another rough weekend to be a Ferrari fan. What was your meme of the week?
All right, so mine is straight out of SpongeBob, where you see into his head and all the SpongeBob's in his mind are just going crazy. It's on fire and there's chaos, and then it says the first 5 laps be like,
Yeah.
because it just was pure chaos. No one knew what to do. There were like 30 different strategies going on at the same time. You had people flying past other people, and it was pure chaos.
Yep. This one's funny. I also saw another one and it was kind of similar along these lines, but it was like Liam's first race in Formula One. And it was like along the lines of just like pure chaos, like everything like burning. Um,
I
so
think I
yeah.
might have seen that one as well. It was very similar. Like I think
Yeah.
there's it's like the dog in like the house is just on fire or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, literally. This is a good one, but
Yeah,
so many memes that we could choose for this race. It's a tough
it
one.
was hard to pick, but
It was.
I think we got some good ones.
We did. Um, so enough about this past race. Let's move on to Monza, what we predict will be happening. Switching it up, you can start off. Who do you think?
Sounds good.
Shocker, who do you think's P1?
Drum roll. It's Max, obviously. Uh, I
Will
did
he
go for.
break?
Oh
Will
yeah,
he
it would
break
be 10
Vettel's
races in a
record?
row.
Yeah,
I hope that if he does, Seb is the one that gives him the trophy.
that would be sweet.
I think that would be really, really cool. Because I think when I saw a tweet that when Seb started his run, the first race he won at was Monza. So kind
Oh,
of be symbolic.
that'd be sweet. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all tired of Max winning, but I do really hope he breaks this record. That would
Yeah,
really suck to tie it.
I think at this point, I just want Red Bull slash Max to win the rest of the season just to
Yeah.
set like this incredible
Records.
record.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think at this point, like if Max doesn't win, I'm gonna be like, what was this whole season for?
Exactly. Like this was the chance to do it.
Set all these records, and then next season, we've already accepted that this season's not it for anyone else. So don't fuck this
Yeah.
up.
All right. So moving on, I had Lewis P2. I think that Mercedes have just been good recently, and I think that we're gonna see Lewis do well. And
Okay.
then maybe Max and Lewis start on the front row together. We see a repeat of Monza from 21, maybe.
Sure.
And then I also went for Carlos P3. I think that he had a good race this race, and I think that this Monza could suit their car a little bit better because they made updates to the car and they've had good top speed since then. But I think they lost a little bit of downforce. So Monza, fastest track on the calendar, could work out very well.
Okay. Wouldn't be mad with those
And then
results.
my wild prediction was that Logan Sargent is going to make Q3 again.
Not super wild, but it's wild enough.
I would say
Okay.
it's pretty wild. He's done it once in 13 races.
Yeah, but he's done it once. It's not like super out of pocket. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's true. I mean,
but
he's
we
got the
don't.
taste for it now. So
Yeah,
now, and the Williams is like the fastest car at a straight line. It's impossible to overtake them. So if it's, good conditions and Logan doesn't accidentally bin it into a wall again,
right.
I think he has a really good shot. Both Williams, in fact, have a really good shot
Yeah.
to make it into Q3.
All right. Well, not bad. I would be curious to see that. Curious,
Yeah.
interested.
So what were
Okay.
your predictions?
No brainer. We got Max P1.
Nice.
I put Checo P2.
Okay.
I just
You
think,
think he's just going to have a good weekend?
yeah, I mean, we know he's in a fast car. I think that he'll just qualify well. He'll start in a good position and he'll finish it off. So,
We'll
um,
see. He was
yeah,
1.5 seconds slower than Max in qualifying this weekend, so it can only go
yes,
up from there.
yes, but I don't know. I think it's just going to be a Red Bull one too.
All right.
I hope not, but it might be. And then P3, do I think this will really happen? Probably not. Would I love to see it? Absolutely. I want Charles to get a podium in Monza.
Well, we both went
So,
for Ferraris in P3, so I
yes,
think we're both thinking the same thing.
we are. Home race. They got the new suits and helmets and everything. They dropped those designs. So I'm hoping look good, feel good. They're gonna perform. Um, Fingers crossed. I feel like every time Charles has like a really bad race, it kind of tends to like compensate itself the next race.
Hmm.
And I'm just willing it into existence again. Wild prediction that isn't too wild, but could be. I think it's on the safer side. George to finish top 5.
And you said my prediction was safe.
I did call myself out. Did call myself out. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I feel like he's just been so inconsistent. And I feel like top
He has
5, like,
been.
yeah, it's not super wild, but it's not a guaranteed either,
No,
especially as
yeah,
of recently.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Thank God.
I think
I
that
didn't have anything else.
he definitely has a shot at it. It's not out of this world that he gets top 5, but with his recent performances, it's definitely not a given. So
Yeah,
see what
exactly.
happens.
Woohoo.
One thing I did want to point out about Monza that might affect both of our predictions is the Monza curse.
Oh,
I don't know if you're familiar. The
no.
past 4 Monzas, the previous year's winner has DNF'd the next year. Max won last year.
Oh,
So,
well, that would be a plot twist.
although if anyone was going to break the curse, it would be
It is.
Max.
I mean, Max broke all the other curses known to like
All
F1
the other
history so
records, all the
far.
curses, he's just
Yeah.
breaking everything.
He has the Infinity Stone. He is the Infinity Stone. He's not phased. So we'll see. I'm not changing my prediction based off
I'm
that. I
not
do think
either
he'll break
because we'd
it.
be stupid to bet against
Yeah.
Max, but there is
Yeah.
a chance something happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, would be quite the race. We'll be sad that I'm probably not going to be watching it live, but I'm sure I'll be getting all the updates. So
Don't worry, I'll roast your predictions when I record by myself next week.
perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All
All right.
right. Moving on
Now,
to the last segment, Hinge pickup line of the week.
woo, woo, woo. These two aren't really too exciting, but is what it is. This guy said, "Time to switch to full wets." That was it. That
Okay.
that was all he had to offer me. Yep.
Super creative.
Super pickup liney. Really worked. Got me there. What would you
Yeah.
rate it?
4?
It's generous.
That's true. It's
gonna
not
give
even a pickup line.
No, I'm just gonna give it a 1.
I'm gonna go down to a 3
Okay. Well, maybe
because
I'm
I
biased
guess
because I've
maybe it was relevant. Maybe he sent it this past weekend. No,
no,
no.
no, no. He was just
Okay, it's down to a 2.
implying it's just a very provocative sexual comment. And maybe I'm a little biased because I can see his picture as well. And maybe I'm going to be mean by saying this, but I don't think he has that effect on a lot of women. So
Oh my god, that man's life was just ended.
that was so mean, but no one will ever know who it is, so it's fine.
Imagine he's one of our viewers somehow.
Well, I hope he forgot that he sent this to me, and it was probably a while ago, so career ended. But anyway, moving on. I actually got this one today. Wheelie? Wheelie. Looking forward to seeing how you handle yourself in pole position.
What? This guy think that F1 was like motorcycles, MotoGP?
I don't know.
What does
I
it
don't
even
know.
mean?
I don't know. They're getting worse and worse. Wheelie,
Oh my
looking
god.
forward to seeing how you handle yourself in pole position.
That's so bad.
What
That's
is pole
so
position?
bad.
Like,
Well, yeah, like
yeah, but like,
I don't, what does it mean for yeah. I don't see how that works for this as a pickup line.
who's popping a wheelie? Who's popping a wheelie?
Yeah, who's popping a wheelie in an F1 car? What the hell?
That was, yeah. Also, probably giving that like a 1.
That's got to be a
Actually,
1.
yeah, that's a 1. I was gonna give it a 2 because it made me laugh because it was so bad, but I think that just means even more that it should be a 1. I'm just gonna go pop wheelies now.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
Could
unfortunately,
you imagine Max Verstappen on pole position popping a wheelie?
please. Yep, I can imagine that. Just bombing a wheelie in an F1 car. They're doing parkour now.
These guys got to pick up their game because
I know.
we've had some bad ones,
They have not been
but
great. And
they are funny at least.
yeah, they give us a good laugh, whether you're laughing because they're good or because they're bad. It's a laugh nonetheless.
Always, it's always a good laugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, no really good ones this week, but we'll come with more. We'll come with more.
Yeah, maybe while you're in Italy, you'll get some good ones.
We'll see. I'll ask the Italians themselves.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's gas.
that's gas.
See you all next week.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. Is there another race after Monza?
I think we might have a break, but
I'll see you later, guys. I'll see you
make
when
sure
I
to
see you.
make sure to follow us on the socials. Peace out.